Hey guys, it's Seth. I'm doing a live stream. It's nighttime here in Thailand. I know it's morning for most of you guys in the US. I haven't done one of these in a while. Um, I actually just spent a few minutes talking to myself because I wasn't live, which I thought was pretty funny. Um, Feel free to comment. This might be the wrong time of day to be broadcasting. It looks like there is nobody on just yet. So I'm going to wait and test this. Easier on your computer. Okay, I see a few people are in. I'm not in Vietnam, man. I'm in Thailand. So, yeah, I actually. Oh, I can hear myself. I'll turn that off. So anyway, sorry for the slow start here. So anyway, yeah, guys, I have an interview to post, but I was late getting the thumbnail created, so it might not come in today. So I was like, "Hey, Angel. Hey, Fatima. Yeah, this is always such a shock. Hey, Corey, such a shock because I'm here in my villa on an island, and I'm like, I can be very hermit-like, and now I'm like connecting all these people. Um, but since I don't have the interview, I can't post the interview till I have the thumbnail ready. I figured I'd just make one of these videos, and I want to kind of also get myself back into the habit. Like Angel says, when you are working in digital marketing, you should always be interviewing. And as a YouTuber, I should always be making videos, but I get lazy from time to time. Hey, Eric. Hey, Timothy. I see you there. So I wanted to just kind of do a quick update. I was going to do a screen capture video and just talk about student successes and some changes to the course that are happening right now. Actually, there aren't really changes other than the updates and the continually awesome information that my coaches provide. I did want to let you know. Yeah, I got your email, Timothy. I don't know. I don't know. They always change it. Just Google it. He's asking about Google Ads specials. Usually there is a special around where if you spend a certain amount, they match you, but it changes so often. You have to just Google it. Yeah, yeah. Hey guys, sorry I'm back. I just plugged in my cable. So I had some. I was just excited because like Kayla just emailed me, and two of my students got hired at her company. Harvinder got a job. I have a bunch of. I'm backed up on my posts with testimonials. Um, but if you're planning to, yeah, I'm back, and my food's coming also. So I used to watch a friend of mine do these, and he was more casual than I am. I could tend to talk the whole time. I may just like eat my dinner here and hang out. But if you are considering buying the course, I wanted to let you know that I'm basically the price is going to stay the same, but I'm changing the payment plan. And basically, the issue is I'm changing the payment plan from 3 payments to 2 payments. And it's going to be 2 payments of $447. And you will only get access to the first half of the course when you do this until you make your second payment. The reason is, guys, I mean, I was looking at my records and I was, I deal with this all the time, which is that I've been giving people access to everything right from the moment they pay, whether they pay for in full or for the payment plan. And it's not really fair to me or the people who pay in full because a lot of people just disappear. And I'm noticing amount now more than I did before. And it's just not good business. It's not, there's no integrity in that. You know, I want to try to help. I already help people out by making the course so affordable, but you know, there's a lot of people I have to chase them down. They miss a payment, and then I'm like, I'm accommodating them. I'm not spending my time doing digital marketing training. I'm spending my time being like a salesman, like trying to, you know, get people to pay what they agreed, and it stinks. And again, some people come in for a month, they get all the information, they leave, and it's just not cool. So I'm changing it so it's a 2-payment plan, and again, you won't get access. You get access to half the material when you make your first payment, and then when you make your second payment, you get access to the rest, which is going to be basically the job stuff, the resume, and all that. Which is honestly a perfect time frame. It's 2 months for you to go through everything. Yeah, thanks. And I wanted to give you guys a heads up, but I'm really just going to make this change. If you watch this and you're like, I want to grab, you know, it's going to take me a day or two to update this. If you do sign up for the free 3-payment plan, guys, please follow through. Really, it's it's not. I mean, this business isn't just about skills. It's about networks and relationships. And if you know if you're making it difficult, you're going to have the same problem with your clients. That's the other reason I wanted to say it to you guys, because this isn't like, I don't want to be lecturing anybody, but like, you want to be a digital marketer. You want to have clients, right? Once you become a digital marketer, you're a free agent. Now you have to deal with companies. You want to make sure you're getting paid what you deserve, which is, you know, someone like Angel, who's encouraging you to interview all the time, always get the best offer that you can, negotiate. And when you have clients, you're going to deal with some clients that are going to be pains in the ass about paying. And my experience in life is that if you're a pain in the ass about paying for stuff, you're going to attract that. Now, I understand people have, you know, challenges, but I mean, like, I was like, if you live in the US, you don't have any excuse, man. Credit is so easy to get in the US. And what I'm charging is less than an iPhone. So there's people walking around with iPhones and with PS5s and stuff saying they can't afford it. I'm like, you know, people write to me from Africa all the time saying they can't afford the course. And I'm very sympathetic. But I've had people in Africa who are saving up to pay for the course. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. So if you do come in and it's still at the $300 a month price point, if I haven't changed it yet, please just honor your commitment, make the payments, and don't come into it with like, you know, without being prepared to make the next 2 payments. If you have a client and they do this to you, it will drive you crazy. And if you guys are dealing with any clients who do that, you know, we could have a whole other video about that. You just fire them. Say, no, I don't want to work with you. Or just save up until you're ready. Or put it on a credit card and pay it off. Like I said, it's so easy. I'm a big believer in paying down debt, but there's smart debt and there's stupid debt. So stupid debt is taking out $100,000 student loan that you'll never pay off. Smart debt is paying for an $800 course or a coding course or something that's like under $1,000 and paying it off in 10 months or something like that. Yeah, that's you, Joel. I remember. I think I remember you. So anyway, guys, I didn't want to focus on that too much, but I am going to make that change, and I just wanted to put it out there for anybody. Again, I wasn't going to even really say anything because I'm like I said, I don't want to. If there are people out there who are unscrupulous, I don't want to give them a heads up. But anyway, what do you guys want to talk about? What do you guys want me to talk about? Because I'm just going to sit here and look at the chat and have some water and then have my soup. Yes, vegetable soup. This is my exciting dinner that I'm having here in Thailand. You know, I have Thai food every day, pretty much. And it's the rainy season in Thailand, which means some days it just pours like crazy. Is it possible to get a job a week or 2 from finishing the course? It is possible. Well, when you say finishing the course, are you in the course or are you thinking about the course? Because if you did everything properly, then it is definitely possible. I wouldn't say a week, though. I mean, guys, you got to understand, like, even if you do, this is a process. Oh, there's my food. Hold on. Hello, sir. All right. Bye-bye. That is I get everything delivered here. Is it possible to get it? Yeah, so it's a process, guys. And like even my success stories, it may happen quickly. It may take time. You are dealing with other human beings that are looking, you have to look at it not from a desperate, I need a job fast standpoint. Say, how am I going to contribute value to X company? And some companies have a slow hiring process. Some have a longer hiring process. Remember, when someone hires you guys, it's a big commitment. This is like getting married. They have to sign all these government documents. They have to pay half your taxes. They have to pay for your health insurance. So they want to make sure they have the right person. So I would say a week from finishing the course, that's too fast. But give you a few weeks or a month, you should be getting interviews within that amount of time. And those interviews can progress at various rates. But my main advice to you is don't rush and don't be desperate. Like I tell people when they come into the course and they say, I need money now. I'm like, dude, save your money, get another job. There's a million jobs hiring out there. Put the money in the bank, save it up, and come in when you're calm and ready to learn. And when you're calm and you're having fun with it, then when you go to the job interview, you're a much better interviewer than if you come in like, I need a job. Hey, Dre, what's up? Does your course include live classes? Yes, there is. Well, not live classes. All the training, remember there's 15 hours of training, guys. And this is the training that has helped all the people you've seen interviewed here. And I'm always updating it. That is not live. I wouldn't be able to run the course if I did that live. That would exhaust me. That's why it's so exciting. You know, the average teacher in a classroom can only teach 20 people at a time. I'd be able to teach many, many people because of these recordings. But there are coaching calls twice a week, which is incredible. You know, you don't get that in these college programs that don't have the results that I have. And you get an hour, 2 hours a week, one with my PPC guy, Nick, and one with my SEO guy, Xavier, to ask them questions. And these are guys working in the industry. Nick has worked with big companies like Netflix, some of the biggest agencies in the country, and he is your guy. You actually get on a Zoom call and you get to talk to them with a group of people, which is awesome. Awesome, man. D Shep. I don't know your full name, but congratulations. What channel of digital marketing you suggest someone to pursue? Ray, did you watch the webinar? I would suggest that you watch the webinar in full because I explain the context. But most of my students get jobs in either paid search, PPC, or SEO, or paid social, which is managing Facebook ads. Thailand Eats. No, actually, I use Food Panda, but I actually, there's a restaurant I really like that's run by a German guy who runs an Italian restaurant that is run with a Thai staff. And I will say this, Thai people know how to make Italian food. I don't know why, but I've had some of the best Italian food here. But which one pays more? They both pay well. See, like when you're learning about PPC and SEO in the course, right? First of all, don't be 100% focused on the money. Like you obviously want to make money, but you got to be focused on the process and learning the skill set. You need to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, there's no point to it. Most people find themselves either a little bit more interested in PPC or SEO. Like Drayshawn, who's on here, loves SEO. He just loves it. And he's not into PPC. Nick, my PPC coach, loves PPC. And he just doesn't really care for SEO. And you will find that out through the process. But I have people like Angel making $150,000 a year in SEO. And I have people like Lyndon who makes that doing paid social or Facebook ads or PPC. They're both very high earning skill sets. Yeah, that's right, Trey. Yeah, they make about the same. It's such a minute, I wouldn't say it's even a difference. It depends on the company. It depends how you present yourself. But here's the big difference that I'll tell you here for free is that basically paid social Facebook ads is high income. But if you see a job posting that says we need a social media manager, run. If a company wants you to like do posts on Facebook and Instagram or Twitter and they're just posting and hoping to get traffic, those are not high sophisticated skill sets. That's what they usually hire college grads who don't know anything to do. There's no money in it because Google, now all these big companies, you have to pay to get exposure. I'll be working in Google ads and Bing ads. Awesome, man. Congratulations. Google and Bing ads, that's where it's at. Vietnam, and if I can remote control to other countries with Vietnam. Yes. I mean, I get this question a lot, and the deal is you have to understand that the salaries, like the guy from Vietnam, the salaries of these companies is determined by the cost of living in those countries. So you have to understand that, like, if you're coming to me from India or Vietnam or somewhere in Africa or Malaysia, I had somebody get a good paying job in Malaysia, but like, the first thing you want to understand is that the reason these jobs pay less in those countries is because the cost of living is less. So like people see my interviews and they see someone making $60K a year in the US, and that's great. But it's also really expensive to live in the United States. Rent is crazy versus in Vietnam or India where the rent is very, very cheap. And that's one of the reasons why the jobs that are in those countries pay less. That said, you can freelance for companies. Shit, sorry, the Wi-Fi here does that. Hugo, he's got a $20 or $25 an hour job working for a Western company. He lives in the Philippines. I got a guy in Malaysia who's making about $20 an hour US. It's definitely doable. But if you're going to work for a Western company and you're from a different country, did I say that right? If you work for a Western company and you're in a different country, you just have to make sure that you're providing value and that you can communicate well. A lot of these companies will outsource. Again, your English has to be great. You have to be able to write ads that are compelling. You have to be able to do all the things properly. Yeah, run from social media manager. But you can do it. You can do it. It's just, again, it's different. I say it's a little more challenging than in the US where there's 200,000 jobs and they can't find enough people right there. But again, that means there are companies that are looking, I got a guy in India. This is really cool because I was like, I want to attract like really, really motivated people. And this kid, he already got a job at an agency. If you're watching this, I'm talking about you. He got a job at an agency in like Eastern Europe, and he's getting paid like $1,000 a month, which is not bad for, I don't know if it's full-time or part-time, for somebody in India. But he did that on his own hustle, and he's not even doing paid search. So that says to me that that type of thing is possible, and you can definitely get, work out relationships with Western companies. Will you be updating your course soon? Dude, the course is, it is updated. What do you mean exactly? It's always updated. The strategy works. People are getting jobs all the time. I have, the strategy is there. There's coaching calls every week. Sorry, I don't mean to be flip when I respond to that, James. Sometimes people ask me that and I'm like, dude, it's just because I'm in there all the time. I'm in the course like every day. I'm in the Facebook group. I'm on top of it. So, I don't understand. I don't know why people might think that it's not updated. Some of the videos I have are newer than other videos, but I always review the material. So like if there's a video where I'm talking about kind of an evergreen topic, like what is digital marketing, the general idea, that hasn't changed, but the specifics of like Google's algorithm and how Google adds the interface and all the new features that are coming going, that needs to be updated. And I update that all the time. Google just did, what do they do now? They said next year there's no more expanded text ads. They're only going to have responsive search ads. So we did an update about that and prepared everybody. That doesn't happen until 2022, but I wanted people to be aware of that. They changed their match types, so yeah, definitely. And then you've got access to Nick, who's, on the ground managing hundreds of thousands of dollars in ad spend. Why don't you run an agency? I don't want to. I like teaching. I like YouTube. I don't like it. I'd rather show. That's why when I created the course, I was like, I get job offers. I've always had job offers. I don't want to have a job. I don't want to be a boss or anything like that. I like doing what I do, and it's really fulfilling to help people. So some places you make 40K, you save 30K versus working USA. Yeah, that's true, Vernon. Yeah, you can save a lot more money. Yeah, if you live in Thailand, if you live in Vietnam, and you're making, I mean, I know that's why you guys want to make Western money, and I'm telling you, you can do it. Like if you're in Vietnam, like I've had students in Vietnam, and I actually Sep, I have to not Seth, Sep. His name is Septo. He's one of my students, and I need to post. I need to post something from him, but you have that opportunity, whether it's through Upwork, through Fiverr, your own networking. You can make, if the average wage in Vietnam is, a few dollars an hour, you can make the $15, $20 an hour. You can be making a lot more. My student in the Philippines tells me he's making like 5 times as much as his teachers, people with master's degrees. Jeffrey, awesome. He got a job from the course. He's a PPC analyst, 40K remote raise. That's how it begins, guys. I do post interviews with people making $90,000, $100,000, which is great. That's after a few years. Everyone starts out at 40K. Get a link to my login page. Why don't you email me, Jama? Definitely in-house or freelance. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I love I love teaching, I just like it. And I love putting the lessons together and answering questions. I'm working through my website, so I'm into work. I'm 17, I can't go to Acadium. You have to be 18 to be on Acadium. Why don't you are you in my course? If you're in my course, M, send me an email. And I'll talk to also, I'll hook you up with one of my younger students and see what he did. One of the younger ones who got a job. I have a 15-year-old in Australia who got a job. I'll be interviewing him soon. 15! The labor laws are a little different down under. He's homeschooled, but 15! Have you met any students in your travel? Yeah, the thing is, I haven't traveled in 2 years. I'm doing this live stream because I'm to kind of get out of my little villa here. I haven't traveled. I mean, I got to Asia in December 2019. I got to Thailand in January, or just the same month, December 2019. I haven't traveled because of, March 2020 lockdown, and then I've stayed here. Yeah, 15, man. Look on my Instagram page, James Kang. He is such a hustler, such a hard worker, and he's homeschooled, which to me said his parents are already forward-thinking people. They already encouraged him to be an entrepreneur. He got a internship at an agency in Australia. Now, the cool thing about this agency, and I'll do this in an interview, I'm sure, the founder of that agency is a similar story. A guy who started his first business when he was 14. He's a real go-getter, doesn't believe in traditional education. So I think when they met James, it was very fortuitous. And he started out as an internship, and he's going to get hired part-time in a short amount of time. Not full-time. You can't work full-time when you're 15, even in Australia. Do I provide job interview training? Yeah, I do. Sorry, James. I'm just seeing a lot of questions here. I'll answer your question in a moment. He took your course. You're making $70,000 a year. You're welcome. I'll come back to you in a minute. James, yeah. The course, I don't know. I would really recommend that you watch the webinar. Just go to digitalcareerblueprint.com because it's I explain the whole context of everything. And also you'll understand how these jobs are available, how it's real. And I do definitely provide job interview training. In fact, I'm about to update the course with a completely revamped job interview video that I am really excited about. It's a mixture of practical guidance and mindset based on mock interviews that we've done, and really designed to help you guys get clear and calm when you're in the job interview. But my students, are able to be very naturally compelling in their interviews because I teach them how to be enthusiastic about this stuff. You know, a job interview in this field is not so much like, it's not like a written, like the SATs where you have to get everything right. It's more about people assessing your problem solving and thought process ability, your problem solving abilities and your thought process plus your personality. And when you can speak authentically from having learned these skills the way I teach it, you are naturally end up like Jeffrey there and get the $40,000 a year PPC job, or this guy who got the $70,000 a year job. Your own remote agency. Yeah, man, I don't really get into teaching people about agencies. In fact, David, I'm working on, you know, I'm starting to create some advanced trainings if you want some like in-depth insight on that. But, you know, my course is all about getting the first job. That's what it's been doing since 2016. And the additional stuff, I can give you some general ideas. I mean, and you could talk to like, I don't really do consultations, but you can probably do a consult with Nick. You know, the thing about an agency is like, an agency is just a fancy word for a bunch of clients. So it's really about connecting with and persuading people to work with you. And that's, you know, it's like you put together 5 clients, you've got an agency. Speaking of questions, I've only posted the same question. What did you say? I can't see. I don't understand, M. Sway. You can repost. You see, I have this. I have this like list of comments that's coming in. I can't. You know, there's a lot of them. Jobs from foreign country. First, Don, go through the entire course and send me an email. Send me an email for that question, okay? Because this gets into more specifics about the course. You know I answer every email. I think Dre already had a coaching program. Vlog of Thailand. Yeah, you know, I really should do some more videos, but I honestly have been on this island for 2 years now and I haven't traveled. I think once I go to Koh Phangan or to Bangkok, I'll do some more videos. And yes, my book is still on Amazon. Busy. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, man. I have coaches, Nick and Xavier. They're great. And I had Andrea was doing SEO before that. And the great thing was Andrea had to leave because she was doing starting her own business. And then Xavier stepped up. So there's always alumni that are going to be stepping up. In fact, Morgan, that's what I was going to say. Morgan, who's only 19 and got a job making $52K, she just approached me and said, hey, I want to do a Q&A call. And I said, sure. And she did one last week and she wants to do it every month. Seth Khan. I sure as hell wouldn't mind meeting you guys. But you know what? Here's what I was thinking. I've been, you know, debating when or if I'm going to come back to the U.S. And then I was like, I always go like, why would I come to the U.S., especially in the winter when I live in a tropical paradise? So you guys, Thailand's opening. So if you're a nomad, you can come here. They just opened it up. If you come from like most countries and you're vaccinated, it's like it was. You just you have to take a test and quarantine for 1 day, and then you're good. I'm planning on applying to jobs. Em, are you in the course? Later, Dre. We should catch up, man. I don't think that's like. I think it's great that you're going to start working. I've never had that question before. I mean, look, it's a job, right? You got to put yourself in the position of the employer. Let's say I just hired an employee and then they're like, hey, I have to take a month off right when I begin. It's not usually going to go over that well. But in this field, I mean, if they like you and they want to work with you, they may be accommodating. I would say, well, the first thing I would say if you're in the course is make sure that you've done everything in the course. Make sure you've done Have you generated all your experience? Have you changed your resume? Have you gotten feedback from Nick or from Xavier or from me? Make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you don't bulk apply. Make sure you're being careful. Because I know if you're 18, I think that's awesome. If you come out, a lot of 18-year-olds might start fire out 100 resumes in a day. That's not how you get results. You know, you have to be a little more patient than that. So I really can't tell you, man. I really have not run into that situation, but like whatever the situation, I mean, if they hire you, they want you to start working usually. Join your course. You can go to digitalcareerblueprint.com/level-up. That is, I'm answering future technology. That is the sales page for the course itself. And then the main page, which leads to the webinar. If you guys don't know anything about me or the course, then you can just go to digitalcareerblueprint.com. I'm going to have to eat soon. It's like 8:20 here. But I'll answer some more questions. Oh my God. I don't know how radio people do it. I've listened to some radio guys that talk for like 4 hours a day. It's a lot of work. Hey, Tim, how are you doing? Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, in-demand career. It's the same. Like, I mean, it's the same thing. When I wasn't the best at branding this, but I took out the URL indemandcareer.com in 2015 or something. I thought it was a great URL. And then the course is called Digital Marketing Career Blueprint. So both websites. In-demand career, the website is more of like my blog. It's a little more corporate looking. Spoken about AI. I wouldn't worry about it, Jake. If anything, when it comes to AI, you don't look at it like, how do I protect myself? You look at anyone who's working in an agency right now is learning to utilize automation as part of their job. You know, I don't encourage my students to use automation just when they begin. It's too much, and Google and Facebook need data before they can optimize. But it's something where you need to learn how these tools work, and it's going to happen naturally if you are working with clients. Whether you're freelancing or at an agency, you're going to start using these tools. But 8:20 p.m. here. But again, Jake, are you working in the field or not? I was like, people who ask about stuff for 10 years from now, I'm like, dude, just if you stay current now, you will be current in 10 years. You know, you will, the problem that happens, you know, I look at a company like Kodak, because I'm from Rochester, and they were like the biggest company in America at one point. They were film. And then digital came, and they were just like, yeah, no one's ever going to stop using film. And they just ignored it. And then they went bankrupt. That's like, I feel like this is what happens with people in industries. It's not, if you're staying current, if all Kodak had to do is be like, hey, let's do digital, and they would probably be right up there with Sony and all the major technology companies. But they were willfully not staying up current. So if you are working in a agency, you just got to stay up to date on what's happening with all the algorithms, all the AI tools, all, you know, the advancements, and you'll be good. You don't have to worry about, again, you don't have to worry about your job security in the same way as in other fields if you're staying current. Hey, Matas. Okay. Oh, that's the M. Once bought, how long will I have access to the course? Unlimited. You have unlimited access once you make your payment. Is it a mistake to bought the course into my career? Oh, I'm sorry, John. I hope this isn't in-demand career is like my blog. If you can only buy the course at digitalcareerblueprint.com. And there's only one course. If you see a course called Digital Marketing Career Blueprint with my face, there's only one course. Yeah, sorry about the confusion. I don't even know who that is. Who is that? Joshua Fluke. I do not know who that is. Sorry. I'm out of touch. No problem, Jake. That's what's so fast. By the way, it's a good question. Like my students, it's so funny. I have students who started with me 3 years ago, and they just learned the very basics, and they got a basic job, and now they're doing crazy advanced things because they just stayed with it for 3-4 years. I just bought it instantly. I thought it is the same. Yeah. You just bought it? No. It's the same. I don't understand. You send me an email because I don't understand your question. There's no in-demand career separate course. In-demand career is the website that looks like it's just a website that looks a little more like a corporate website. And when you click on those links, it sends you to digitalcareerblueprint.com. Yeah, I don't quite understand. Shoot me an email. I'll give you more feedback. Hello, digital marketing humans. Well, I see there are some people here. I gotta get my food. I don't know if this is like normal etiquette. Do people eat while they're doing live streams, or is that some type of is that some kind of thing on YouTube where people like eat their food and like make really, really funny sounds with it, and people like to watch that? I don't know. That's not what I'm into. I just have to eat. So hold on, I gotta get this ready. I'll be back. The soup is really hot. So just be careful. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I can really bring myself to eat this in front of you guys, so I'll eat off camera. Yeah, I feel pretty. Yeah, ASMR. No. Ivan, you need to go through the whole course. The SEO section has a ton of information about site audits, technical SEO. I always provide additional resources like you'd get in a college course, like, here's some bonus stuff. But shoot me. Yeah, I think you might be overthinking it. You can always shoot me an email. Morning, Taiwo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. Technically, this is private. I don't understand, Vernon. Yeah, ASMR. ASMR. Only people subscribe to you know about this. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge YouTuber, so it's a pretty small community here. Maybe I'll do a Facebook Live at some point. Good morning. Yeah, you guys. I think I'm pretty much out of things to talk about unless you guys have any more questions. And I'm gonna probably watch my Netflix. I've been binge watching Grey's Anatomy. which is a terribly overly dramatic soap opera that's been on in the US for 18 years. And I've never watched it, but it's on, they have it on Netflix in Thailand. So what is the average cost of living in Thailand? Well, where I live is a little different because this island is like Hawaii, so it's more expensive. But if you go, like, I'll just tell you, like, if you go inland, like, there's a city called, like, was it Udon Thani? I think I was looking. You can go to Thailand property if you want and look up houses, and I always like to do that. Like, you can buy a nice 2,000 square foot house in that city for like 150 or $200,000 US, which is a lot cheaper than in the US. Some houses are just $100,000. The cost of living in Thailand is definitely less than the US, but it's more than, I think, Vietnam or Malaysia, or at least Vietnam or Laos and, you know, those countries. But like this villa that I have, I mean, I got kind of a deal for Coda. This villa is like really nice, and there's like this living room and then the bedroom, and there's like a pool and everything. And this thing probably costs about as much, less than an apartment in LA. Aldo, so the course is primarily for people who want jobs, but I do also include, in order to get the job, you have to get clients. You have to get experience, which is what I teach. So you learn like a little bit of both. You definitely learn how to get free and paid clients. There's a section in the course on free and paid clients. And a lot of my students freelance. You've probably seen some of their interviews, but you know, there's a big chunk of the course about resumes and job interviews and things like that. But you can also take what you learn in those sections and apply it to your freelancing jobs, because when you get a new client, you're going to need to compel them to want to work with you. Mr. Robot, is that? Yeah, I saw that, Mr. Robot. It looked pretty. It looked good. Thanks, Vernon. That's my show. Which one, Afia? Which show? Have I been to the UK? I've never really been to the UK. In Europe, I've only been to France and Poland. And that was a long time ago when I was like in my 20s. Often if you, Tim, with live stream. Who's Tim? Unfortunately, wasted time in university doing non-skilled labor. Oh, hey, Jake, just watch the resume videos multiple times. Change your resume, send it to me, and I'll review it. I talk about this. Everyone has that problem, and I definitely, and I know mostly it's my subscribers who are here, but when you're asking specific questions about the course and the resume, we need to do it in a private environment because that's all very special information. Will this stream be deleted? I don't think so. I think I'll leave the stream up. I'll be honest with you guys. I get rusty sometimes. Like I haven't made a video, like I've done interviews, but I haven't made a video of me just talking for a while. And I get like, I'm making a lot more mindset videos in the course because yeah, I even get in my head, like I start overthinking it and I start talking myself out of doing it. And then I'm like, I need a haircut and all this other, every YouTuber, every presenter deals with this shit. Everyone does. Even like Johnny Carson or famous actors have this in their head. But I let it kind of stop me from making videos for a while. So I think I'm going to leave this up and just kind of get more into the habit of just kind of talking. You know, I have some videos I've been wanting to shoot for a while on mindset, success, things like that. Yeah. And the one in the course that I'm going to be uploading about the interviews is going to, I think should really, I put a lot of energy into it. So it should be awesome. Is it possible to stay freelance forever or move on? I mean, you know, people with this skill set do all sorts of things. Like look at Karen, like Karen Chalco was working freelance No, she got an agency job right after taking the course, internship, agency job. Then she freelanced for about 1.5 years or 2 years. Then she got a job at Glassdoor, and then she left, and now she's freelancing again. Grey's Anatomy, yeah. I haven't met another fan. I definitely see why this show appeals to people, women. I like it. I think it's like, but there are parts of it. Sometimes I fast forward through parts of it because I'm like really tired of seeing either fights or surgery. I get kind of tired. But I've watched 10 seasons of this thing, so I mean it's kind of crazy, and I can see why it's been on for so long. Yeah. Thanks, Jeffrey. I'm gonna take off in a minute because it's getting late. I love chatting with you guys, such as it is. If there's any other final questions? I always say that. It's like my mom, when I was growing up, she used to always say, okay, I'll be there in a minute. And she'd talk to her friends for another hour, you know? So I'm doing that with my live stream. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I may not get rid of overthinking entirely. You know, I will say this before I go. I'm adding another video in the course. I'm putting it in multiple places in the course, and I may even talk about it here. You know, I used to do healing work. I don't talk about it much. I'm not going to talk about it much right now. I'll get more to later. But I have some resources that I've been using for the last many years to quiet my mind, deal with anxiety, deal with mental emotional blocks, and it's a really powerful tool. And I'm going to share it with you guys in the course because, I mean, I've just sort of I've been reacquainting myself with it. I hadn't done healing work in a long time, but you know, my basic idea is that we have the human being is like the most complex computer system in existence, but we still relate to it like it's 1800. We don't look at our bodies and our minds like we have the ability to delete or eliminate mental or emotional problems, which we do. You know, we really look at ourselves in a very primitive way. Like, hey, yeah, I expect my iPhone to be instantaneously doing all these thousands of processes, but when it comes to me, I have a headache, I have some overthinking, I can't do anything about it, and it's not true. So, oh, there's more questions. Sometimes you get. So I'm going to tell you guys about those tools. Sadhguru. I like Sadhguru. I do Shambhavi sometimes. I'll tell you guys more about it, but you're welcome. I will not comment about anything about Thailand's government publicly ever. I love it here. I'm a guest. I have no comment. And how do you deal with haters? You ignore them. That's what every successful person has to do. And yeah, thanks, Ivan. Yeah. You know, if you go on, I said, if you go on YouTube and you look at the Beatles, which arguably the most popular band in history, they'll have like millions of views and they'll have like millions of thumbs up and there'll be 1,500 assholes thumbs down the Beatles. Doesn't matter who you are, someone's going to hate you. And the thing is, they don't see you. That's what if you do any kind of spiritual work, you see that people who are sending negativity towards you, they don't see you. They don't know you. They're projecting their own crap. So I've had trolls now and then, now a little bit more than usual. I don't have thankfully, you know, some people have really bad experiences with that. But even in your life, if you have somebody that's like, you know, being negative or being a troll, these people are very disturbed. You have to really get that. They don't see clearly. They have their own pain. Anyone who's going to hate on anyone else has their own hatred or their own pain inside themselves. It's not natural, but it's very common, you know? So that's one of the reasons I stay out of politics a lot, because people, their own anger and frustration gets thrown out onto somebody. So yeah. I don't know. Oh, John, surprise! I thought, John, are you the dude from Ireland? I thought you were somebody else, but are you the John from Ireland? How do you get a better job once you have a job? Um, it happens very naturally if you're always expanding your skill set. And B, Nick is going to be creating an advanced course for people. Like I said, my course is all about getting the job. So all my focus is, that's where all my support goes. And once you're in the job, you're going to be getting a lot of help from your colleagues, coworkers, supervisors. And if you want to level up beyond your current job, I'm going to be providing a training for that. But I've already put so much into this one course. It's already overwhelming. It's already such a deal that I'm not providing like in-depth career advancement guidance in there. Oh, hey, John. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Successful. You have to ignore them. You really do. Like, and I went through this process with my film course. Like I had people, calling me names and stuff. It really upset me. And you're in a different vibe. You're in a different vibration, a different world. There's people who are really famous, like Paul McCartney, or like, Brad Pitt, or I'm like showing my age here, but like, I don't know. They really, they can't engage with that negativity. It's just, it would, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I did not plan to stay just in Thailand. I planned to be in Asia and move around, but I ended up staying here. As far as the SAT question, dude, I've really never run into that. I think you have to see what people say. It's possible, yeah. If you basically, I'm asking the high school student who's talking about the SAT, are you really taking the SAT? Here's a big question for you: is if this is a rant I have. The SATs is such a waste of time because it's only if you're going to go to college. Are you going to go to college? If you're going to go to college, then take them. But I think it's such a waste of time and mental energy because there's no purpose to it except to get into college, and you don't need a degree to work in this field. But if you are going to take the SATs, it's basically you're saying what your start date is. And basically the company will either say, yes, that works for us, or it doesn't. If they have an immediate hiring need and they need someone next week, and you're saying you got to wait 3 months, then I don't know. It could work. It might not work. It depends on the company. I don't know what Super Chat says, and I'm on StreamYard. So Donald, send me an email about that, or I'll look into it. How are jobs in Ireland? They're very good. I did an interview with a guy from Ireland, not John, another Killian, and he has a remote job in Ireland. So anyway, hey guys, I know you just popped on the chat. I've been on here for an hour. I got to have my, I hope that helps, Matas. I got to run. I got to eat. I got to rest my voice. So, you guys can always, if you're in the course, you can always send me questions or get on the coaching calls. And I guess I'll try to do these live streams more often. Maybe I'll hop on later because sometimes it gets boring out here. I like the quiet, but sometimes it's nice to connect. And John, you're right. The best marketers have the least formal education. Thanks, Tim. So we think about space travel. It's a whole other topic. I think space travel, I never said this publicly. I agree with whoever said that, Prince William. I think space travel I think we should fix this planet before we continue to go off into space. And I think Elon's idea to go to Mars is insane. I think giving up on this planet is the worst idea. I think living on Mars, if you've ever actually explored that concept through science fiction or through the science of it, is not only it's just a crazy idea, in my opinion. I think this planet was designed for us. And if you create an artificial environment on another planet, I don't know why I ended up talking about this, but if you create an artificial environment on another planet, you're going to be missing out. There's a lot of natural, I don't even know what would do the human body, mind, spirit to live on another planet in an artificial environment. I think that TV show, The Expanse, that's on Amazon is amazing. And there's really, really in-depth character development of the people that grew up on Mars. The people who grew up in Mars are actually like entrepreneurs. They're so driven. But I think it's cool that these guys are doing it in a way, but I feel the same way about NASA. Like, I love NASA. I love learning about the moon landing and the space race, which was done. It was all political. It was all because we were trying to beat the Russians. And I just think it's insane for any species to spend all this time and money exploring light years away from ourselves when our home planet is in turmoil. Like, there's people starving, there's violence and this shit, and then we're gonna go off over here. And scientists will say, oh, we're learning things from this. We're, because of NASA, we have all these other inventions that were byproducts of that. That's great. That's great. But I still think that as a species, we are not a grounded, practical species. I think this is, and then space tourism and stuff like that is like, I mean, these guys who have all this money, they're just looking for a high, literally. Like, these guys have already conquered the physical world with money, and they're just looking for another way to get high. And I think it's a great idea if we fix this place a little bit better. Anyway, so I went on a rant there. I didn't. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think Elon is like, people glorify Elon. I think he's very smart about some things, but I don't like icon worship. Some people think Steve Jobs is a genius. I think he was an unhappy man who made these machines that were very pretty to look at. But I think the guy as a human being was a failure. He was not the kind of person I would aspire to be like. And I think that we deify these guys, and people deify like Elon. And it's like, and I think it's like ridiculous. The guy tweets, and then like stock prices or like, crypto goes up or down based on this guy's tweets. Think for yourselves. Don't be like a follower of these guys. And, they're just people. He's a unique person. He's an incredibly driven person. He's an incredibly bright person. But the shit about Mars really bothers me. Yeah. So anyway, that's my little make a space trip. I think, by the way, I'd be scared shitless to do it myself. I really like being here on Earth. I like it. And documentary. Oh, Timothy, there are many other better documentary filmmakers than me. Daniel, the course is always up to date, and there's always live support through my coaches and through the forums. And yeah. So anyway, I really don't usually rant about those things, but billionaires. Yeah, I could go on about, I think the billionaires that, by the way, being a billionaire, or somebody asked me about being a millionaire, guys, you don't understand, like, I'm still talking, even though I haven't eaten, but this is fun. Money is energy. And if you haven't made money, you don't understand what it takes to rise up. I love my students who have done this very naturally. But to someone to be a billionaire, and I've been around multimillionaires, and even I've one of my students worked with multi 100 millionaires. They're of different vibration than us. There's a different feeling. There's a different intensity. So for a guy to be a billionaire, to hold that much energy, they're in a different mental plane. And you don't want to be there, most people. You don't want to be there. You don't know the amount of energy it takes to hold that amount of money. And also, it usually does come from some kind of imbalance systemically. I don't mean these people are imbalanced necessarily, but I mean, like, as humans, I believe that what inspired me about the internet was that I was like, hey, I'd rather see 1 million people with a nice little $50,000 a year business, a micro business, than all these individuals making these huge amounts. Because I think that the collective humanity is not living up to its potential. That's what happens when people are not fully realizing their own creativity. Then we just have these handful of like super creatives who are taking on that for everyone else. That's my little rant on that. And I don't really talk about crypto up syndrome. I'm not an expert. And I don't really talk about things that I don't really know that much about or I'm not that interested in. Like, I've been interested in stocks for a long time. I've taken a couple courses. I've done a little bit of trading, but it's so unpredictable and it's so volatile. Day trading, day-to-day stock trading, crypto, that I don't feel as a somewhat of an influencer, I don't really feel right talking about it. But yeah, so you slept on it. Daniel, man, it's just look at the YouTube channel, look at the interviews, man. They're still coming in. It's the most relevant it's ever been. You know, I was well, that's great, man. I'd say make $1 million before you make that multi-million. First to die in that environment. Yeah, it's just like the thing is that I could do a whole other live stream on this. If you are coming, people think they want $1 million or $1 billion. They're usually not grounded. So first of all, why do you want that much money? And how do you think you're going to earn it? You have to provide a value. To Jeff Bezos's credit, he's created value. Unfortunately, it's, I think, unsustainable and like really detrimental to other businesses, but he does the best e-commerce site ever built. And people are addicted to it. You know, one of the little perks of being in Asia is that I don't ever use Amazon. I rarely. Sometimes if I need an item, I have it shipped here, but like I almost never use Amazon. Most people can't do that, especially nowadays. They just like, and Amazon does it better than everyone else. Should consider doing a podcast. Yeah, I will think about a podcast. I don't know if I could really I really have to like work up the muscle to talk this much. Like after I do these things, I have like a little bit of a headache and I have to rest my voice. So you're welcome, Nine Night. I don't know who you are, Nine Night, but you're welcome. I wish maids are cheap in the US. I wish maids are cheap. Yes. I don't quite understand what you mean, Tim. But I could give, you guys are great. I only know a little bit about the metaverse. But here's what I'll say. Nobody would have predicted the internet is what it is today 20 years ago. So whatever Facebook is planning, who knows? I just personally, if they're like creating a virtual replication of our planet, I think it's kind of cool, but I think it could be a bit dangerous because people are already so disconnected from reality. I'm much more interested in connecting myself to physical reality, which is very beautiful. And I don't know what you mean about the Matrix. I'm not, unfortunately, I can't really do that. That individual who, whatever happened over there, I never really, I can't publicly get involved. I can't, unfortunately. If you want like private links, I think I still have a few of them, but unfortunately what happened over there is just not something that I really like to bring over here. Yeah. I'll say one more thing before I go. Let me see. Oh my God. If you guys, okay, no, I'm not doing that again. I can't eat in front of a bunch of yeah, the metaverse. They're creating a virtual reality. I think it'll be kind of cool. But I mean, if you've seen the movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis, it's kind of a terrible movie, but it reminded me of that. And I thought that's totally possible. Like people getting addicted to like a virtual environment and then neglecting or disregarding their own real environment. You know, I have very mixed feelings about the way the internet is used now anyway, because I do think people are already disconnected and too much in their heads. And now I have the same issue with like, you know, spending too much time online. And if we make an all immersive environment like that, it can really mess people up. I mean, if you think there's already issues with like Instagram kids, like teenagers and Instagram, having like psychological effects. What happens when you're in like a virtual reality or doing like Second Life stuff? I don't know. It'll be interesting. You know, who the hell knows what'll happen in 20 years? Okay. Well, thanks for all the thought-provoking questions, guys. It's been about an hour. I might jump back on here from time to time, but right now I got to eat. Thanks for everyone for showing up, and I'll see you soon. Okay.